Hey guys, Crew of Blonde Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
I'm Calvin.
I'm Aaron.
What are you doing up there?
I'm doing this.
Twiddling his pen.
Not particularly well.
Oh, okay.
I am invincible.
The last episode, these two guys weren't here. Me and Shane were. It was called Batu of the Water Tribe. We
You
met
didn't
that
call
day.
me.
Back in time.
Call me.
Well, we didn't even do it that night. We didn't do it the Monday.
I know. You didn't tell
really?
me.
Last episode, Aang, he had that moment where he. Oh, there's that fucking thing. Fuck that thing. I hated that thing. I'm on record. I'm on record hating that thing. Appa beat that thing's ass. He was licking him and hitting him with his tongue, and Appa's just powering through.
It was nice to see Appa getting the action.
Yeah.
And airbending.
He kept pushing
with his fucking tail. That was cool.
Was he airbending or was he just...
I think he was airbending.
His
I
airbending.
mean, he can fucking fly.
Or was he just like
He airbending.
going like that?
No.
I don't think he did that. He would like destroy a building like it did.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe.
I know it's got a big tail. I don't think it's that big. Now Aang, we actually have a poll about this. I gotta get the poll. Aang, he took that message from the father, and yeah, he tore it up. He didn't tear it up. He eventually gave it back to him.
And it hit it under his armpit.
But he hid it from Sokka and Katara. And Aaron, how did you feel about that one?
What? As I did.
Like, I personally felt like it seemed a little forced, like to create like a melodrama.
I don't get why he did it. He's
Yeah.
just afraid they were gonna leave him.
Well, yeah. Well, when he was talking, they were talking to Bato. You could see Aang in the background. He doesn't have a family, and they were like joking and talking about their Graham and their dad and all these fun times. And Aang was like, "Well, what's that about?" And they're like, "We don't have time to talk to you about it right now, Aang. You know, we'll talk to you later." So he was feeling like, "Oh, they're just gonna go and try to find their dad," because that's what he said. He said, "I'm expecting a message. Your dad will have a rendezvous point. You guys can come and hang out. You know, you guys can come with him if you want." And Aang felt like if they do that, they're gonna leave me. I only have this summer to do all this stuff.
But the dad's important. But this is like the world, right?
But they also they would have made that choice, but Aang didn't let them. He took the message from that stupid Earth Kingdom soldier who was like, "Hey, you know Bato? He's like, yeah, give him this." You know, with very important rendezvous information.
Right?
Like, fuck that guy. I mean, granted, Aang is 12, but I felt like from what we had seen with him so far, I don't think he would do that to his friends. At the very most, he needed to have a conversation, you know? And being like, I understand if you guys want to go see your dad or not, that'll make me sad, but...
Well, little kids don't do that.
12
He's
is
more mature
little.
than a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's the fucking Avatar. I mean, I get it, he's a kid. I just felt like it was... Now, you had a good point. It's a 22-minute episode. They have to rush things along sometimes. For me, it just felt... I could see the writing.
It wasn't just
more.
a 22 episode. It was a kid's show. That's a 22-minute kid's show.
Well, I was saying, for me, I could see the writing more than I could feel a character making a decision, and that always bothers me. So I said it felt forced. It didn't feel necessarily like bad writing.
Yeah.
It just felt forced as opposed to more natural. You know?
Because it's a kid's show, we should forgive it for like a bad writing.
If it's bad, I don't think it was bad.
I don't, because I love the show that much.
Okay.
I don't think of it really much. So much as a kid's show.
I mean, a kid's show shouldn't be like a reason for like, well, it's a kid's show. That's why it's got to be like this.
No,
Yeah,
but there's simpler motivations, especially emotionally.
I don't like. That's the thing. I don't feel like it's that's the case throughout all the shows that we've seen so far.
They've been
had
expressing and
very clear
dealing
motivations.
with very complex issues.
I mean, Zuko
with, like,
and his
friends
father
and
wanted to
stuff
get
like that.
back, and that's why he's trying to find Aang. But he knows Aang is a good person, kind of, so he hesitates a little bit more.
Yeah.
All the emotions I feel are very complicated. I think it's kind of insulting to say that kids can only have simple. They can only understand simple things. Which is why I thought this was too simple.
Yeah. Well, Zuko's not just like my dad told me to go find the Avatar. You know, there's a lot more of a complex story behind and within all that. So
I mean, Aang has the guilt of leaving the Airbenders because he felt like he didn't want to have to grow up so quick, and then they all died, and he was forced to, or he's being forced to. Those are very complicated, I think, things, and I think J.K. Rowling is quoted as saying like, treat children, your children readers, treat them like adults, and they'll start to emote like adults. You know.
My thing is, I didn't think the
way.
writing was bad. I understood the motivation. Honestly.
That's why. That's why I just said like I get the writing. I don't think the writing is bad. I just thought it felt forced.
I guess I was just wondering what the reason of like, well, it's a 22 minutes kids show. That's why. Like,
just that there's not enough time to really have him.
That'd be
like,
the first thing I would cut.
No, what I said with the 22-minute thing is that there's not enough time for him to really like internally struggle and then also be able to go through everything that they went through and have a good resolution. they just kind of had to speed it along, and the speedy nature of it went a little forced for me.
I imagine it being like a 4-episode arc, and then like later they find out like you did that by having 10 minutes in the episode. You know what I mean?
But, so anyway, in our poll, did you think Aang's hiding of the father's message seemed forced? Let me show the results. I gotta do that. So, 47.8% said yes, it seemed forced, and 52.17% said no, it seems natural. So 52%, I mean, it's pretty split in terms of the haves and has, but they did win out that it seemed more natural than it did forced. So, that's the poll. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know, when I was watching it that it felt forced necessarily. I was a little surprised, like, what? Why? No, don't do that!
Yeah.
But I guess looking at
stupid.
I thought he was
stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't think it felt forced.
Yeah, but I guess like looking at like his thoughts and stuff like that of like he doesn't want to lose what family he has now is what he was afraid of doing it. I guess that can make some sense, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, I just didn't like it because when I saw him do it, I knew this is going to be a thing that, okay, so now we have to get through the fact that he lied to them and they're going to get you pissed, you know?
You might just understand
Like,
the writer's process too well.
I don't think so. I think that it's just one of those things where I was just like, you know, I like tension and drama, but I don't like having to wait for it to unfold because I know it's happening, you know?
What if they just split and don't get back together now?
Well, they got back together.
Well, I know. What if that's what happened, though, and you're like, well, fuck, I was wrong.
I would have been wrong. I would have been excited. I wouldn't have made the poll. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, you got me.
Got him.
Okay. So...
Rick, got him.
Got him.
Do that.
So, other than that, there's really nothing else to really talk about. I don't know if that chick, that bounty hunter girl, is going to stick around or not. Is the contract still on, or is she fucking out?
I mean, her creature ran away.
Yeah.
And the uncle was like, oh...
He saved her.
You know, like... Oh, you didn't watch it. But yeah, he was like,
yeah,
no.
Zuko's like, Uncle, I didn't see you get hit by the tongue. And he's like... he's holding her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that. And other than that, Katara got her necklace back from her mom, so that was cool. They also still have the note of the rendezvous as well, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. And
Say
then
that weird.
Rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
Yeah, sorry.
And
then
I know, but he said it like 2 or 3 times. It's like
I just don't know how to say it right then. Correct.
It's rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's French.
All right.
So
Rendezvous.
And then other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. We can get started with this episode. So Shane, hit the button.
Wow, he hit it.
Finally.
I know
The-
some of that.
The deserter, like dessert.
Ice cream! Cake!
He's like
Cake. Uh-oh.
Hey, a poster of me.
Hey.
Wanted poster.
Blue Spirit.
Yeah.
Look how hard he hit.
Never gonna see that guy go.
Yeah,
Earth,
never.
an earthbender, maybe?
He's right fucking here.
There's like an arrow pointing.
Oh.
It's like
Oh shit.
Oh.
It's like you're a whole different person. Let's go.
That's their
Are
fire.
you kidding me?
That's their fire disguises. Happy mask salesman. That's funny.
Whoa, it's magic.
he just burnt those birds.
He's bird bending.
For my next trick, I need a volunteer.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Aang. Don't do it, Aang.
What are you damn doing? Oh,
She's wearing Water Nation
Nation
cloak.
Encouragement, folks.
Damn it, Aang.
Oh my gosh.
How would you use?
Hey, you trying to upstage me, kid? Out of here. There
I don't trust the creep.
Trust the
Alright,
creep.
Trust the creep. He's got bombs.
He's got smoke bombs.
Just fucking blow the shit out of him.
Just blowing everybody.
Light it though.
Here he goes again.
Oh, shit.
See, that's firebending.
Airbender.
Now this is firebending.
What are you... Why keep saying firebending?
So the Avatar was here. You let him slip away.
Oh, Zhao.
Yes, sir. But other than that, the festival went off without a hitch. Before learning firebending, you must learn water and earth. Water is cool and soothing. Earth is steady and stable. But fire is alive. It breathes. It grows. Without the bender, a rock will not throw itself. But fire will spread and destroy everything in its path if one does not have the will to control it. That is is its destiny.
Shit.
No.
It's a good explanation as to why,
You
though.
think I am weak, Avatar? Assume your stance. Wider.
You're not even
Wider. No. Did not tell you to stop.
I've been breathing for hours.
You want to stop breathing?
I want you to stop wasting my time. You should take it slow. Look, careful.
Yep.
Now that's firebending.
What are you doing?
You'll
I
hurt
meant
yourself.
like pod racing. I literally did.
You gonna burn some shit down.
You
isn't
can burn
it?
down his.
Wonder how that juggler did it.
Oh, there goes his hut.
Oh no!
Katara! I'm so
Hey, it's your
sorry.
girl, man. You got kissed last episode. You ain't getting one this one.
I'm disappointed.
She really hurt. She's a tough girl. Ugh.
Hurts so bad.
Huh?
Huh.
You have healing abilities. I wished I were blessed like you.
Really?
Free from this burning curse.
But you're a great master.
Here we go.
Fucks.
Go get your friends and flee. Do not come back here, or you will all be destroyed. Hurry!
I guess he ain't teaching him. I always thought Zuko would probably teach him eventually.
Ooh,
Shit!
firewall.
That guy's good.
Whoa, wild shot.
I'll show you wild.
All you do is shoot fire. Look what this kid does.
No self-control.
Stand and fight, Avatar.
Ooh, get him to burn his boats.
Were we fighting? Admiral Zhao!
Okay.
He has no self-control.
He's a fucking admiral for a reason. You figured he'd.
I don't know why, but
Exercise
I thought
some
you'd be better
intelligence.
than Zuko.
I thought you'd be better than Zuko.
You've lost this battle.
Are you crazy? You haven't thrown a single blow.
No, but you have. Zhang Zhang said you had no restraints.
Just leaves him there.
Wait, where's Zhang Zhang?
He disappeared. They all did.
Alright.
What with the other firebenders?
Very
Dude.
funny, guys.
It's real funny, guys. Oh.
Let me help you.
What's this? She does it with water.
Bleed never knows.
It's not 11.
Wow, fell into the greaseberry bramble. And that time I had 2 fish hooks in my thumb.
2? He tried to get the first fish hook out with another fish hook.
And the time that mink snake bit me. Thanks for healing that up. That's great. Really helped.
Okay. Lauren McMullen. Never heard that name yet. Okay, well, the biggest part of this episode, obviously, for me, is the discovery of the healing.
Yeah, healing ability.
Now, is she doing it? She's doing it with water. It's not just healing. She's changing the water to heal, or she's
I don't know,
putting water into the wound.
with burns, it could be easy as getting that moisture back in there. 'Cause typically, a burn is just it's got rid
Yeah.
of all of the liquid in the skin and everything, and that's why it's hurt and damaged.
yeah.
With a burn, it could be as easy as like she's moisturizing, rehydrating that burn, and it's healing it. I don't know. Could she do the same thing with 2 hooks in a finger? Could she just heal a wound itself, like it was a gunshot?
I mean, the
through
guy
hand?
came out and said like the healing ability is like
Powerful benders know to do it.
powerful water benders know how to do it. Or knew how to do it. And
Some
it's not
waterbenders know how to
even
do it.
necessarily power. It seemed like it was selected people who knew how to do it. Right?
Well, he said that a few of the most powerful could do
okay.
it.
All right. So it's a matter. Okay. Because she seems to feel like it just came naturally to her. So I was thinking like maybe that means like there's just like she's special in that regard, but she's just naturally good with that ability then
Maybe.
It's-
versus being
it doesn't-
powerful.
I don't know. In this situation, she just kind of picked it up. She didn't know she could do it.
Yeah.
It's not really something that she learned.
I mean, it came out of fear and pain for her.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for fucking her crying on a,
Yeah.
like, that must really hurt.
Yeah.
Dang, man. I mean,
Come on, dog. Shit. One thing for
Because
me
I
is
was bugging him.
fire, basically. I mean, he went to the base of the philosophy of the fire benders.
yeah,
and, like,
we've always known that it like came from the breath, but the idea that you have to learn the other ones because fire is so consuming, I guess, right? Is what they were saying?
it's hard.
Powerful.
It seems hard to master, hard to
Yeah.
control. It's powerful. I mean, it brings destruction and pain. Those
Yeah.
came out of his actual mouth.
It's alive in itself, like air.
He might be
remove
inserting
air.
his personal experience with fire into what
Yeah.
he's saying to Aang.
Well, I mean, it makes sense though, because like what he was doing was he was comparing it to water. You have water, it's just fucking water. You have fire, you throw water on a branch, it's just gonna drip down. But you throw fire on a branch, it's gonna spread, throughout
Yeah.
the entire fucking forest.
He said without the bender, water is just water,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
fire consumes.
I think his words was that a rock won't throw itself,
Yeah.
but a fire will.
A fire
still
will
destroy.
dance or will run or
Yeah.
spread or whatever he said. Yeah, no, that was interesting.
I like the explanation of like water, earth, and then fire. You learn discipline as you learn the other ones, and then you learn
Yeah.
fire last. So,
What was with
what if you're a firebender first?
then? I think you have to then learn it in the same order, but starting at fire, right? Because that's the same way the Avatar people change. It's the same exact way it goes from Avatar to or tribe to tribe.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
Avatar is the same way they have to learn it, right?
But Admiral Zhao didn't have to learn airbending before he could.
I think it
no,
might-
he didn't.
firebending.
He starts with firebending, and then he if he was like Roku, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
but just any firebender.
Yeah,
They don't learn the others. They just learn
they
fire.
just learn
What
fire.
I'm saying
yeah.
like is if who we have Avatar Roku was
Yeah.
the last one. He was a firebender, right?
Yeah.
If he learned fire first, which I would assume he did if he
Yeah.
was born in the Fire Nation, then is he able to just learn whichever one he wants then after that? Since he learned the most
I think it would then
difficult
be
one,
it
can he
would
just
then
learn
be
earth,
air,
whatever?
water, and earth, right? Because that's it would mirror the way that it goes through the tribes. I think I don't know. That's a complete speculation, but I think that's how.
I mean, if you think about it this way, to other tribes, it would be very difficult to learn a foreign element bending.
of
Like,
course.
For a earthbender, I'm sure it'd be very difficult to learn fire, water, and air. But for Aang, since he was born into the Air Nation,
Yeah,
he is particularly adept at it.
Yeah.
Same way I would feel with a Avatar born into the Fire Nation.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
then
they learn that first, and then they realize,
Like-
they're the Avatar.
So what do they learn after they learn fire, though? That's what I was saying.
After fire,
Yeah.
is if they're an Avatar, I would say air.
So like Avatar Kyoshi, which is the Warriors of Kyoshi episode. Remember that one?
She was
she was Earth. She would have then learned fire, air, and then water after she had her initial one, right? It seems like
So they
I mean,
should-
we have no idea because like we don't know if Aang like had a water thing before he started doing air, but I assume that he just learned air first.
I mean,
you know?
in the
Yeah.
air temple,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're
Because
only
he
air
airbenders.
benders.
Well, it's like it's the idea is like of Harry Potter. You can be a wizard or you can be a muggle. You have to have some kind of magical ability. Then you have to funnel it through a wand. But Harry made the snake escape. He made the glass turn invisible. Just naturally. He didn't know the spell. He wasn't trained how to do that spell. It just kind of happened. So, like, if you compare it to this, if an avatar is born, would it be possible that during their, young life or something like that, and an accident happens and they accidentally do an airbending move to save themselves? Kind of like how Avatar, because the Avatar state, he can do all that shit, He doesn't, but, like, to be able to do it, like, in normal state, he has to learn them in a certain order, right? I was just wondering, like, maybe there was that Avatar state could have happened, like, could he just have accidentally done, like, a firebending move to protect himself just like that? But I guess the Avatar state answers that question. It's just not on purpose. What
you were talking about you couldn't believe how an admiral could reach that rank with that lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being tricked like that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes with the hot-headed thing, though, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's more
Zuko could be
unbelievable
very
than the
hot-headed
whole.
as well.
I mean,
I think that's
What
more
about,
unbelievable than the whole.
I don't think so. It is at all. I think that it's a
Was
matter
it-
of he was goaded. Like he kept getting goaded, and he kept getting madder. You
Was
know?
it General
I don't think
Custer?
a guy of that.
in Civil War? Was it him?
Custer, not Civil War, American Indian War.
American Indian War?
Yeah.
Well, there was like one of the generals that like
Last
just went
Samurai,
in,
dude.
like his whole group just got Last Samurai.
Custer's in Last Samurai.
Like they just got slaughtered just because like he went
Yeah.
in and he didn't like
He
it was
didn't.
like a-
He underestimated the Indians, and he got
yeah,
sick.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he was kind of like
He understood
he's
the
like
numbers.
it's a kid, I can take care of this, no problem. He doesn't know as much
Yeah.
as I know.
Well,
you know,
we
like-
understand the numbers.
Aang had a strategy. He did, like, it's not like he just like didn't think about it. Aang knew that because the master said that last student. That's why he failed or something, didn't he? Isn't that what he kind of said? So Aang knew that. Oh, you're the last student. Now I know your weakness, which is your fury or your temper. So he
Yeah.
just goaded him more and more and more. Now I agree that the way they kind of showed it, he wasn't the smartest, you know.
yeah,
But in my head, I could think of a way that it works, you know. Just like in my last problem with Aang and keeping the letter. In my head, there's a way that I think it really works. It doesn't feel forced.
Yeah.
This one also felt a little forced.
yeah.
But I guess I gotta learn to just let that kind of stuff go. One, with the quickness of the show, and two, because it was funny. It was
Yeah.
a funny sequence.
I was just saying that like
It was
in
funny.
history, there's been generals and stuff that have,
Of course.
you know, they made mistakes because they, you know, underestimated
Yeah.
or overthought of what they could do, or you know,
Yeah.
they weren't disciplined enough in what they should have been to actually proceed properly.
I think what he's saying
And
is it's just that it was such an obvious flaw that, you know, or such an obvious like ploy, like, oh, get me here while I'm on my wooden boat, you know.
Yeah, didn't they have fire resistant boats?
That's the thing.
They have steel decks, but there are still wood
I'm
parts.
But
I'm
the
pretty
last
sure, like,
boat-
Zuko's boat, and like the bigger boats are all just
The last river boat was all steel. It
Well,
wasn't
I mean,
wood.
if you think about it this way,
the ones that went over the waterfall.
during World
Yeah.
War II, like battleships and stuff, they're solid
Yeah.
steel. But
yeah,
PT boats, or TP boats rather,
Yeah.
torpedo boats, they're plywood.
well,
They're literally painted.
no,
plywood.
I get that. The one thing I was saying is last time we saw not the big boat, but the littler boats that they send out.
Yeah, the
that Zuko was
catamaran.
in. Yeah, the last one wasn't wood; it was all steel.
It was all steel.
These ones
It
were
had-
all wood.
it
or
had-
they had steel bindings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it had wood parts where it would be susceptible to fire.
Yeah,
They
I
were
just-
also a lot smaller
Yeah.
than Zuko's catamaran.
You're saying it seemed a little convenient.
Well, yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of their stuff was always like fire resistant, which makes
Yeah.
sense since they're all fire using.
I'll,
evil. It
I'll-
seems silly to like, I'm gonna build my entire boat or kingdom or whatever out of wood,
Yeah.
and then fight with it. You know?
It's
Yeah,
like
but
the,
really, wood doesn't really have to worry about like water burning it up or anything like that. Like it would have to be a situation like that to where they fired upon themselves to get it to burn.
Well, yeah.
Well, what all you're
is
saying,
weaker and stuff like that.
all he's
too,
saying
so.
is that it's just convenient for
Yeah.
the sake of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
If I'm gonna be wanting to battle and I use fire,
Yeah.
there may be a situation where we get boarded. I don't want to be throwing fire at my own boat that's gonna be made of wood
Yeah.
and sink.
It's like
You
the
know?
first time we see them in boats that could go on fire, they go on fire.
Yeah.
Like if we had seen it before, wouldn't it be that big of a deal?
Yeah.
I guess.
If I'm gonna have RPGs, I don't want to use the RPG if someone boards my boat. I want to use
Yeah.
like my handgun or something, you know?
Yeah.
I liked the Blue Spirit wanted poster
That was cool.
because they had the wanted posters,
Yeah.
and there was Aang, and then there was like that Blue Spirit one, which was Zuko's
Yeah.
mask, and then there was the general
That guy. Yep.
or
Yeah.
admiral,
The deserter.
The deserter, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just like
No, that was
there was
high
one
ranking.
more that was like a chick or something.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
but I'm not quite sure what that was.
yeah,
I
I
was
tried
trying
to
to
look.
look
I
them
couldn't
all.
tell who it was.
I like the little mask switching thing. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I wrote that down too just because I liked it.
Also, Aang using his airbending on stage to stop what is obviously a trick was a
yeah,
little.
I wrote down talking about Forced stopping dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like,
that was fucking
That
stupid.
that was. There's no real explanation for that one other than
yeah.
move the story.
Ignite
Yeah,
the chase.
it seemed a little much for that one just to be like, hey, let's go get attacked. This guy saves them.
Yeah.
They could have easily just been like, hey,
I mean, what did Aang think he was going to do if he was on stage? Like, protecting himself from the dragon.
I mean, we can keep
I don't know.
using the excuse like, well, Aang is a kid and he just doesn't understand. But I don't
I mean,
want
it
to
comes
keep
to a
thinking.
point
I don't want to
where-
keep thinking that I'm a protagonist. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get you.
I don't want to keep making excuses
Like he
for
can
his behavior.
outsmart fucking Admiral Zhao, but he can't outsmart that obvious parlor trick is gonna happen. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of like, well, it's a kids show, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Me either. I don't want to I don't want to insult it that way. I guess I should say. You know. I mean, even though it is a kids show, I don't think it's just a kids show. You know, go back and watch all the shows that you watched when you were a kid. You'll find adult messages in those shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes very inappropriate messages, but they're there
Yeah.
because they know that these kids are watching with parents, and sometimes the show writers want to make parents laugh.
Yeah.
Like when SpongeBob was watching porn. You ever see that?
Yeah.
I don't watch SpongeBob.
Gary, no!
Yeah. Gary! That's not what it looks like. Yeah.
Do you think the whole thing with Aang talking about never gonna firebend again is gonna come back and be a thing at all?
I thought it was going to be...
Not after this.
I thought it was going to be until she said that she healed her wounds.
You think so?
I thought so.
I think he got over it as soon as, yeah.
He's like, oh, you're fine. Okay, I'll fuck up some more.
Unfortunately, I kind of feel that way. It was going that way.
I just wrote it down like the way he's like. I was like, maybe he's just popped up because
Yeah.
he's glad she's okay. But he might. I mean, maybe I think it's like, somewhere down the line, whenever he starts lighting fire, maybe it's gonna be a thing or an issue.
At the very least, I should say, he'll respect it or be kind of afraid of it when he starts. He's gonna have to do it. My personal theory is that it's gonna be Zuko. I think Zuko will teach him,
What if it's his uncle?
or Iroh. I guess it could be.
The uncle would
I
be
don't
a good
know.
one to
With that
teach.
whole thing with them being like, they had that one scene after the Blue Spirit stuff, and he was like, I think in another life we could be friends or something like that. I might be confusing that with Spartacus and Crixus, but they said something like that.
No, he did.
Yeah.
At the end of the Blue Spirit,
Yeah.
when
So,
he brought
like,
Zuko into the
that
forest.
just to me seeded that Zuko will not always be our antagonist. And I don't know,
I feel the main antagonist
Yeah.
is gonna be the king of the.
the Fire Lord.
Yeah.
Ozai.
Because they haven't showed
Yeah.
him much yet. That's the
Our
only
Lord
reason.
Ozai.
And I mean, I don't know what number this is, like 16 or
16.
something like that, but I don't think that we're going to get to Ozai at the end of this season. I think we're going to get to like the
North Pole finally.
North Pole at the end of the season, yeah.
Finally.
So we'll just see. That's the pace we're going right now, and that's the pace that we're reacting to him right now.
Yeah.
A poll for this week. We're going to do this is probably, I was going to say a classic, but we don't think we've done it yet on our polls. And that is, which is the most popular choice out of everybody, not just us, but also the Blind Wave poll writers. What poll would you...
Polars.
Huh?
Polars.
I don't like that one. Polar bears.
Polar bears.
But what element would be the most... What one would you like to use, right? What one would you like to bend? I like Earth. I'm going with Earth.
I would like to fire, honestly.
Fire?
Yeah.
I'd probably do water.
Fuck!
New plant or some shit, Eric.
Huh?
I'm
Plant.
just kidding.
No, I want water. Water's mine.
So you guys are both water?
I'm going water. Yeah, I don't want air. Tyler's supposed to be air. He lied.
Alright, that's what we thought. Of course, we want to hear what you guys have to think. You can go to patreon.com/blindwave, find the poll for this episode, and you guys can vote. And that'll be fun. And we'll talk about it next time we do Avatar. Or the time after that. Depends on the schedule.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be a polar care.
Be a poll writer.
No.
We'll need to do a poll
We need a
about
new name.
what to call the
We
poll.
need a new name.
We need to make a poll.
Yeah, we'll have to make a poll. We'll do that sometime. Alright, down in the descriptions is all the links to our social media. Blindwave.net has
Shirts.
and we'll see you guys next time. I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
I'm Calvin.
I'm the waterbender.
Yep, yep.